but I know it was live recently. Hold on. Well, I was going to flip this so my head would be in the shot, but then that's going to make everyone like, whoa, like spin you upside down. So I don't want to do that to anybody. This is an off time. It's 4:44 on Friday where I am Eastern. So it's before people are out of work, and especially before people on the West Coast are out of work. But I was hoping I can get a couple people on. I skipped the gym tonight. It was yay, you're first. Hey, Esmeralda. Hey, Estella. Is that Estella? Yes. Hey. Hey, LD. Oh my gosh, I was just saying I am nervous. It's a funky time for me. It's 4:45. So it's definitely like people aren't out of work Eastern time, and they're definitely not out of work Pacific time. But I tried, and yay, you guys are hopping on already, 43 of you. So I skipped the gym tonight, like I said. Not great for my lower body and my back. Prepping for the conference. We're leaving early next week, so I'm going to be doing as many lives. Me, the volunteers, we're all going to be getting footage, getting video, doing some lives for you guys from the conference. It is the event that we all look forward to. Oh, 12:45 Dubai. So I'm so happy you're here. Don't cry. I'm going to try. I'm going to try not to cry. I'm probably going to be unsuccessful, and I'm sure you guys might need to grab a tissue for this one too. I found this at work today, and I didn't get through the article without having to take breaks because it's so sad. Oh, mad love right back to you. So let's just hop right into it. Mama's got her tissues. Little Mama's got her tissues. So you guys might want your tissues too. This is an article that I found that when I was reading it, I was like, I need to share this with my fam because, yay, Vanelli, you finally called one of my loves. I'm so happy you guys are here. We're starting a new series when I get back from Dallas, probably the month of November, called Free Adam Fridays, where you guys asked for it or suggested it, either Free Adam Month or Free Adam Fridays. His birthday is end of November. So I was thinking, Jody's one of the people, hey honey, Jody's one of the people who suggested this, who begged me for this. So it's going to be where I put more ads on my videos and I do more live. So all of the donations, even if it's $1 a person, go directly to resolving Adam's case and pushing his petition. Not something I always drag my feet doing that kind of stuff because I never want to feel like I'm taking or asking for anything, but you guys begged for it. So yeah, there's Jody. Anyway, okay. Oh, and as I'm watching this, I'm forgetting that I didn't give Heather her wrench last night. It's coming. Okay. I found this article today. And it said, I forgot to show off my notifications. I apologize, guys. It's called Finding Peace and Briefly Freedom at My Grandfather's Funeral. And it was written by an inmate. His name is Robert K. Wright. He has since been released, but this is a tear jerker. Free Adam, he deserves to be out ASAP. My sister always says, your lips to God's ears. And that's what I'm saying on that one too. So the subtitle of this is saying goodbye with the people who loved him and me, and I remember that I am not the tomb that imprisons me. Ooh, chills. Okay. At Sing Sing, which is a New York State facility, once classes are over in the school building at night, we're allowed to use the phones on the yard. Chaos usually erupts as inmates race to the phones like stampeding bulls. It's enough to make me avoid the trouble on most nights. But there are times when I fiend for the voice of a loved one and am forced to join the herd. Okay, stop. That right there gives me chills. It already has me having a scratchy feeling in my throat because just the thought of the person I love more than anything else on this earth, and you guys I'm sure can relate, having to fiend for the sound of my voice is partly flattering, but it's partly so excruciating to think about that because people out here that don't experience this, oh yeah, I'm so glad it's your first live and you're here. They take for granted the fact that a lot of people take for granted the fact that they could just pick up the phone and call their loved one, or they hang up on their loved one when they're in an argument, and then they could pick up the phone and call them right back and keep hanging up on them. And they could keep calling each other back or texting each other or just having a bad day, texting, hey, I need to talk to you. We don't get that luxury. So fiending for the sound of a voice is just, it's excruciating for me. If you guys can relate or understand that, please thumbs up this video. Let's all give a thumbs up in the comments, give a like to this video. It reminds me of the time that I'm in the Target parking lot and I was doing a live video. I'm always at Target because I'm always in this parking lot doing a live video, which reminds me, I hope that connection is okay. I tested it, it seemed fine, but last time I did this, the connection was funny, and then it was kind of like skipping when I was watching it back. But anyway, there was a man and his, I'm assuming wife, his significant other, walking into Target, and she was trying to say something to him, and he was like, "Don't even talk to me. I told you just to stop," or something like that. And I was like, I don't know what they were arguing about. I have no idea. But my initial gut reaction was, listen to her. Listen to her, please. Do you know how much some of us would give to be walking to Target with our loved one? Please savor that. Please, please. No, be nice. And again, I don't know what they were arguing about. I don't know if it was something that she was nagging or wasn't letting go, but oh, you guys, just appreciate what you have. Okay, one late night summer in 2014, I get in line and hand my ID to the officer. When I hear my name called, I squeeze past the other inmates and dial my mother's number. I listen to the automated message and anticipate the melody that is her voice. As soon as she speaks, I know something is wrong. I could always sense her pain even when I was a child. It runs down my flesh like the chills. My heart pauses like that first big drop on a roller coaster. Let's talk about how well written this man is. "What's wrong, Ma?" I ask. Her words are calm and precise. "I want you to listen," she begins. "Daddy is gone. He passed away this morning." There's a long silence. She continues, probably about the funeral arrangements, but I'm lost in my own thoughts. I still feel dazed when I hang up. I walk around the yard until it's time to return to my cell. I don't bother to undress. I just lay on my bunk, stare up at the paint-chipped ceiling, and have a conversation with my grandfather. "You couldn't wait just a little while longer?" I ask. "I know I let you down, but if you had given me more time, I believe I would have made you proud. Every virtue I have, I inherited from you. You taught me how to forgive, how to love. You taught me that a real man puts family first. Thank you for waking me up every 4 hours to give me cough medicine when I was sick." Ooh, chills. Do you guys see my chills? "Thank you for allowing me to make mistakes and never turning your back on me. Oh, I never apologized for the time I made your nose bleed when we were playing WWF. Remember, I was the Ultimate Warrior and you were Hulk Hogan?" He never says a word. The funeral is a few days later. I won't know until the last minute if I'm allowed to go. On that day, I stay in my cell, not wanting to be hard to locate if I'm called to take the trip, that reminds me of every time I go to visit Adam, he does the same thing. So this article, I'm sure for everybody that's watching this, that has a loved one who's incarcerated or who has been incarcerated, who I'm sure majority of my subscribers are or have, you could see that you can live this through the things that your loved one has told you, through what you've experienced with them. And I think that's why, I mean, this is going to be excruciating, heartbreaking for anybody listening or reading, but it touched, like it was a knife in my soul. Okay. By noon, I'm getting nervous. At 1:45, I hear my name being called over the loudspeaker to report up front to the OIC, which means the officer in charge for the housing unit. 2 officers who will escort me to the funeral home lead me to the processing area. I'm strip searched and shackled from waist to ankles. One officer reads a bunch of rules to follow, or else I nod half listening. The 2 officers are wearing suits. I'm dressed in my state greens, a matching button-up shirt, and pants that resemble the pajama sets my grandfather used to wear around the house. I'm not allowed to wear anything appropriate to his funeral. I am made to put my incarceration on full display. When we get off the highway, it's the first time in 13 years that I see the South Bronx. It has the same look and feel as it always did. Street vendors, bodegas, and Chinese restaurants sprinkle every block. Merengue and reggaeton blast from speakers, occasionally drowned out by rap from a moving car. People of all shades hurry to their destinations. It's like I straightened up my room before I left and no one set foot in since. Ooh, chills. When the prison van pulls up in front of Ortiz's funeral home, my heart is racing. I see my father standing near the entrance. Once he notices the van, he tries to approach, but the officers deter him. "Move back away from the van," one officer says. I walk through the funeral home door with an officer draped on each arm. The shackles attached to my ankles only allow me to take small steps, or else the metal cuts into my skin. And I made the mistake of wearing ankle socks. I'm greeted with smiles and nods from inviting faces, and my heart settles as if it knows it is home. We continue into the chapel area, and suddenly it's harder to breathe. The room is full of mourners here out of love and respect for my grandfather. A woman across the room looks at me, smiling intensely. I return her smile and mouth her name, Yvette. Her smile gets bigger and she blows me a kiss. It's my older sister's best friend. She looks nothing like the chubby teen I had a crush on as an adolescent. She is more beautiful than ever. My cousin approaches, a tall, powerfully built woman with long dreadlocks and a voice like Maya Angelou's. I hope I pronounced that right. She gave me a strong embrace that lasted for 3 minutes, then grabs my face with both hands and kisses my cheeks. This woman changed my diapers, fed me, and rocked me to sleep on her bosom alongside her own children. I want to embrace her in return, but my wrists are chained to my waist. Then I see my oldest sister staring at me with what looks like a mixture of fear and sadness. She walks towards me. She looks to the officers for a sign that it's okay to approach. It must be hard to watch someone you love shackled like an animal. It's all right, I tell her. You can hug me. She stands on her toes and wraps her arms around my neck. Told you, this is one that you need tissues. Over her shoulder, I see an elderly Latina woman looking at me as if she knows what my heart has been through. As I get closer, I see that she is Gladys, my babysitter from the time I could walk until I entered kindergarten. She would keep a shrine of candles and religious ornaments such as crucifixes and pictures of saints near her door and scold me if I went near it. I learned later that she practiced the religion of Santeria. I'm sorry, I'm butchering it. As she gets closer, I see the tears in her eyes. She leans in and whispers, "Que Dios te bendiga." I'm sorry, I don't speak, I have an awful accent. God bless you. When the service begins, I sit next to my mother in the front row near the casket. The 2 officers are posted in the back, keeping me in their sights. I look around at all the people who loved my grandfather, all the lives he touched. He was a minister and a mentor to everybody here. Preachers say kind words and hold prayers. Friends and family get up to speak. At some point, I'm asked if I wish to say something too. I stand up and face the room, but when I open my mouth, nothing comes out. Tears stream from my eyes. I stand there for 5 minutes trying to pull myself together. My heart is having a tantrum inside of my chest. Finally, I managed to mumble something incoherent. I didn't know I was in so much pain. I wore it for so long, I forgot I had it on. After the speeches, people line the walls of the chapel to get their last look at my grandfather. As they do, they take a look at me too. Most of them haven't seen me in over 13 years. As they walk by, they say hello or grace me with a loving smile. When it's my turn to view the body, I refuse at first. I can't see him like that. Sorry for the text coming through. My sister insists it'll give me some closure. I inch closer as if I could fall over the edge if I get too close. As I look inside the coffin, I do not recognize him. Memories of my grandfather flood my mind like the moving snapshots in a silent film. I see him chase me down the street in a foot race. There he is, shouting from our window to come upstairs and eat. Over there, he's cutting my hair as I keep fidgeting in his armchair. I walk away, knowing I will have to proceed through life without one of my biggest supporters. I take one more look around the room before the guards grab my arm and say it's time to leave. This is the freest I've felt in my adult life. It is easy to lose one's self inside of a cage. But here, saying goodbye to my grandfather with people who looked at him and me, I remember that I am not the tomb that imprisons me. Somehow, I've kept my essence. As I escorted through the crowd of mourners, I received hugs and condolences, but I don't really acknowledge them. I'm already preparing myself for a return to captivity. I'm ushered into the back of the van, lay my forehead on the window, and let out a deep, long breath. That's the end of the article, but I just want to read this little blurb about the author before we talk through this. I wish I had a tissue in here. Robert K. Wright is a research assistant for the Center of Justice at Columbia University, where he's pursuing a master's degree in education. He speaks at social justice events, helps develop programs for justice-impacted people, mentors undergraduates, and contributes to articles examining the effects of trauma and punitive practices in urban communities. Robert holds a bachelor's degree in behavioral sciences from Mercy College. In March 2018, he was released from Sing Sing Correctional Facility after being incarcerated to close for 15 years on one count of assault in first degree. The end. Thank God I found tissue. So let me just wipe my nose, dry my tears. Shackles just are just something that just trigger me. Like, I cannot think of shackles. I can't think of Adam cuffed and caged like an animal without losing my mind. But that article just shows how much talent and how many brains are in. Of course, everybody and their brother has to text me right now. Let's see if I can put this on. I hope I don't lose you guys. I don't know. We'll just leave it. I'm sorry. But real life. How much brains and how much talent and how much everything is behind those walls. And they are not, we are not, you are not your biggest mistake. It is just one part of you. It doesn't define you. It doesn't stop you. In fact, it molds you into who you are today. And if you can use that in a constructive manner and use it to fuel some sort of purpose and help other people avoid that mistake and the pain that came along with it, you're winning. This man is winning. What a beautiful article. So I'm going to scroll up. I'm going to read your comments. Oh my gosh, 29 likes. Thank you so much, guys. Subscribe and hit the bell. Thanks, Ray Ray. I saw some super random comment section really reaching out for someone to talk to her man because he's currently facing 25 to life. So of course I direct her here. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that, Logan. This article is heartbreaking. Sure is. You're awesome, Logan. Thanks, Jody. I thought she would too. I told her it's, oh, you know what? Maybe that's better. I told her it's more important than just a YouTube channel. It's a legit support group for anyone she's facing. Logan, I can't thank you enough. Hi, light skin Ray Ray. We have more than one Ray Ray. Hey, Melinda. Go looking out, Logan. We're all here to support each other. Props for holding it together, Ro. I'm bawling. Thanks, Brittany. This is so well written. You truly feel the pain. Absolutely. I just got here. What's Ro reading? Gma, if you need me to explain, just let me know in further comments. Tears. I couldn't even imagine. Slay, slay. Thanks, love. I agree. Slay, slay. Someone's grandfather passed away. He was inside when his grandfather passed away. And this was his account of, he was given a furlough so he could go to the funeral. And this was his account of the minute he found out that his grandfather passed through when he went to the funeral. And what an amazing man. I'm brokenhearted for him. Slay Shay. Oh, I thought you guys were talking to me saying slay, of course, because I'm selfish over here. Like, oh, I slay it, right? Losing a loved one is no joke. We lost my dad to cancer in 2009. So September this year was 10 years, which humbled me for sure. Yeah. We're going on a year, not a year yet, but my mom will be a year in April that we lost her. So like the holidays, I'm dreading. I was just asking my dad last night, like, what do you want to do this year? And he's like, I was like, do you want to go away? Because my mom always hosted. I'm like, do you want to go away? And he's like, doesn't matter. It's the same to me. I'm gonna, like, basically going to be depressed either way. I'm sobbing. I went through this exact circumstance with my husband when his grandmother who raised him passed. It was heartbreaking. He also had to go in shackles and it literally hurt my heart. I'm so grateful he was able to go though, because I believe in the feds, they don't offer furloughs, at least not at the level and with the amount of time that Adam has. I don't know if they offer them to anybody else, but as far as I'm aware, I don't think they get furloughed to funerals. I had held him and wiped his tears. He said his goodbye to her. I just wanted to crumble, but I had to pee his rock. It's so painful. You know, Lex, you bring up a really good point. I think there are so many times where we just want to break and we can't for them. I actually have videos about that in earlier, before, you know, further back in my channel, where it's weird because sometimes it's something that we just find this strength that we never knew existed within us, because we know that we can't break, that we need to be strong for them. We do it for our loved ones. We do it for our children. It's kind of crazy how something outside of you takes over and you could just block it so you can get through it for him. So he was really lucky to have you. My man has been in for 22 years, since he was 16. We've been working on it not taking over his essence. I love that. I love the way that man worded that. I love the way they used that. What was the reader's charge? It sounded like adult in first degree, but I don't know what that is. I think it was assault in first degree. Sorry, it's probably my horrible accent. That was amazing and heartbreaking. Hey girl, glad to make a live. It's been too long. Hey girl. Hey Mallory. His mom is really ill and we just found her a year ago. He's still in. Oh, Ipsy, I'm so sorry. I know it's important to talk about it, but it's hard to listen to the things our loved ones go through. I lost it the first time you mentioned shackles. Brittany, I know. There's certain things that are triggers for different people. Like for me, it's shackles. I think I told you guys this. It's a repeat. I've said this quite a few times, but I'll say it again. I work out at like hardcore CrossFit types of gyms. So I joined this underground lifting gym like probably 7 or 8, maybe 10 years ago. And what they did was sometimes they would put chains either on them or on the weights, like on the barbell, so that when you went down, the chains would hit the floor, so it would take weight off. And then when you, like, let's say a squat, and then when you went up, it would add that weight back on, and it was a way to train your muscles in a progressive manner. So I didn't know anything about this. I'm walking towards the gym that day, and it was probably spring or summer, and they had the doors open because they never used air conditioning in there. It was like an underground crazy gym. And so I hear the sound of these chains going up and down, probably like 15, 20 people in there. And it sounded like the exact sound of shackles. Now, I had never seen anybody, I've never seen Adam in shackles, but I've seen, like, I went to sentencing with one of my friends just to hold her when he got his large amount of time. And so that sound from that day forward cut through me. And I literally had to run back to my car, pull myself together and be like, they're not shackles, girl. Get it together. You gotta just find your strength and go in there. And that's what I did. But I think we all have our triggers. And I can't remember who said that comment, that they were, there's certain things that get you, and you cried the first time I should talk about shackles. And if there's things about prison life that get you, that hit you, that trigger you, just click off. Watch another one. Skip past that part. Fast forward. I don't ever want to trigger anybody in a bad way. And there's some things that some people can't handle. There's things I ask Adam not to tell me about. There's things he won't tell me about. In fact, one of you guys asked me to ask him on one of our videos the scariest thing he's ever seen in prison. And I wish that I had the exact words that he said, but this is summed up, paraphrased. He was like, first of all, legally, I don't think I could talk about it. Second of all, he said, there are certain things that I just wish to never relive nor share with you or your subscribers. I will not, you have to remember, he lived in a high security U.S. penitentiary for many, many, many years. So there's a YouTuber, one specifically sticking out in my mind, although there are many. His name is Jake, and his channel is, what's Jake's channels, guys? EOS, end of sentence. And he was in a youth facility in Florida, and the things that he exposes in there: torture, abuse, awful. And so I can't even imagine Adam having to explain that to me as him being the one in there. I mean, God, it's awful that those poor kids were subjected to that. But the point is that poor kid, there's things that we don't need to know. That's it. Hey, Kat, so is anybody else besides Veronica having trouble? It could be, honestly, my connection, because I am in the Target parking lot and I always have connection issues here, yet I still continue to make videos here. Little mama, you're so right. What did little mama say? it's sad how they can't really all the way break down. They can only partially break down because they know the environment they're in. It's sad that I have to check their emotions so much. 100%, 100%. Are absolute worst. There is no accountability. Yes, 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 for the enforcement here. Adam told me that many, many, many years ago. I had a girl who was helping me run Strong Prison Lives and Families. She was like the second in charge at the time. She's no longer part of us. Her loved one got out. But he was in the panhandle of Florida. And when I used to tell Adam all about things that she would tell me, he's like, yeah, Florida's, if not one of the worst, up there with the worst. There's a lot of videos on YouTube exposing a lot of stuff in Florida. There's actually a video that just went around that a couple of you guys sent to me, that a kid hid a camera in a Bible, and the O of Holy Bible was where the camera, you know, the lens was, so you couldn't see it. It was in the cover, you know, and it was all over the news actually, and it showed. If you don't want to hear about this stuff on the inside and worry about your loved one, if you know, if you feel scared and that's going to give you anxiety, I would not recommend watching that video. But if you guys want me to, I will share the link and I will make a response video to it. But if you guys have seen it, you can put in the comments. It is just graphic. It is just awful. It is awful. It is so sad. So they can get out and go to funerals. I'm guessing only family can let them do this. Nope. So I guess it depends on the state. It's called furlough. So it's not just like get out and go free and they go to the funeral and then they can leave. Sometimes, depending on if they're approved, just like this man wrote in his article, he was New York. He did not know until the last minute if he was going to be allowed to go. I'm assuming that's a safety and security measure. So you can't tell the family, I'm going to be on the road at such and such time. It's the same exact reason why they don't tell us when our loved ones are moving, where they're going. They put in the feds, they send them to a transfer facility at the minimum, 2 recently, in between their final destination, because they don't want anybody to have any inkling of the fact that they're out of the prison and on the road. So with this man, he didn't know until the last minute. They finally allowed him to go. He had to be in prison clothes, cuffs, shackles, a belly chain, and the way that I've heard in the past was that you're not even allowed in, I'm assuming some states, I don't know, but I've heard people, you're not allowed to mix and mingle with the rest of the congregation. You're only allowed to go into a back door and view the body on your own. And you're not allowed to mix with family. In this instance, he got the ability to mix with family. I don't know if it was a special permission. I don't know if it's a New York thing. I have no idea. But can Adam do that? Absolutely not. I don't know if it's a federal thing. I thought that nobody in the feds get furloughs, but then somebody corrected me and told me that she thought her husband was going to be able to. So it might just be a security level thing in the feds. Maybe if you're like at a camp, you would, but 100% without a shadow of a doubt, Adam would not be allowed to be furloughed to a family funeral. Just like Sean Hopwood in his book, Lawman, amazing book. I did a book review on it years and years and years ago. I should probably do another one because I was so shy and awful in front of the camera. Literally, if I had $1 for every time I said, you know, or in that video, mostly you know, every other word was you know, I probably would be rich and famous and I could take us all to like a tropical island for a vacation. Seriously, it was awful. But the point is, in that book, amazing book, Sean's a good friend since I didn't know him at that point, but he's become a good friend of ours. He talks about when his father passed away. He talks in detail about the last time he saw his father visit. Then his father passed away shortly after, and how his emotions were because he couldn't leave and go to the funeral. They wouldn't let him, but he was a bank robber and he was at a high security institution. So again, I don't know if it's institutional. I don't know if it's state. I don't know if it's across the board in the feds. I don't know if it's your custody level in the feds. I don't know if it's the amount of time you have in the feds. The name of the book, Raven Honey, is Lawman, because he was a jailhouse lawyer. He was a lawman on the inside. His name is Sean, but it's spelled S-H-O-N, Sean Hopwood. Oh my God, you guys, read his case. He's so busy, or I'd have him on this channel, but like, he's too busy being a Georgetown law professor, because when he got out, he was one of the first, if not the first person who was a federal inmate who did federal time, who was a felon, who was barred And he has done work with the White House. He worked very hard on the First Step Act. He's been on TV quite a few times. His case and Adam's case are nearly parallel. So that's how we actually met each other, was because I reached out to him on Facebook because there was a New York Times article. I think it was New York Times, but there was an article about him. We're talking years ago when he first got out of prison. And then we became friends since, introduced him to Adam. More on that in the future. I think it depends on the state, and they have to put in for a request. Brittany, I think you're right. How do I get the clothes he wants to wear the day he goes to the halfway house from the feds? Do I mail them to him, put them in the car for them to pick up? He's asking, but I wanted to see if you know. Personally, I don't. I would ask Adam, but Adam's been in for 20 years, so I'm not sure that he would even know. He could try to find out. But if anybody, does anybody know? Does anybody have a loved one who did Fed time and sent clothes in? How does that happen? Who knows? Can somebody help us? I agree. It breaks me down just seeing it. You might have to send clothes to the halfway house, because I know that, and this is just a wild guess, but my friend Malik works very closely with the women coming out of prison, and he's asked me sometimes to ask our members on Strong Prison Wives and Families if they have things that they're giving away, if they want to donate to women coming out who have nothing. And almost always the address that he needs me to send them to, or the women to send them to, is the halfway house. But you probably just want to call and ask, because I have no idea. Hey Heather, I was just talking about you. I'm so excited that he's coming home. And what are we down to? Like 60s? I've never seen my love unshackled. I don't know how I would take that. I don't think I would take it well. I would do like we were saying before. I would hide it. I would keep myself, almost said a bad word, together. But afterwards, I'd probably sob for the rest of the night. My man found, unless, of course, let's just clarify. Unless it was him shackled to go back for a resentencing and they gave him time served, and then they unlocked the shackles and they're like, go home with her. Then I wouldn't cry. I'd be crying different kinds of tears. My man found someone who's really good with appeal and is going to help with his case. Awesome, Raven. I told him that you told me some of them are even better than lawyers. I agree. Like look at Sean. Perfect example. Yes. In fact, this is really cool. The attorney that Sean was working on people's appeals while he was inside, and one of the attorneys on the outside, like a very high up, well-known attorney, was like, I will only take the case if Sean works on it. Yeah. Oh, that's okay, Shay. Sorry, I was talking to Melinda. No, I was just making believe the whole world revolved around me, and you guys were telling me I was slaying it. Continue your conversation. I've seen my man in cuffs, but never in shackles. Can't even imagine. Yeah, it's rough. I mean, I don't know, but I can only imagine that it's rough. I know that it's rough. I've never been exposed to it, but it's rough. Okay. I saw my husband in an orange jumpsuit in head-to-toe shackles for visits in court. It broke my heart. Oh, Carol, I can imagine. I'm drinking this kombucha. It's so sweet. Melinda, you would like this, I think. Living in Gratitude Fall Edition. Apple, turmeric, carrot, spices. It tastes so sweet. Very fall though. I like it. Seeing my husband like that was so upsetting. Oh, I bet. Sean, yes. Thank you, Thomas said it. It's S-H-O-N. Thank you for writing that, because it's not spelled like one of the common spellings. Although you could spell Sean like 7,500 different ways. It's okay, roast light all day, girl. Thanks, little mama. Okay, I am in the Target parking lot. So unless anybody has anything else that they want to share, I'm going to probably get going. I have to run to Old Faithful, Walmart, get a couple of things, and then I think I'm going home to make dinner and start rehearsing my keynote for Dallas. And that 5 days, that's so exciting. Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. Then when I was arrested, they asked if I wanted to say goodbye. He was shackled, and they were all standing, staring. Wait to see what I said. I only hugged him. That's so hard, Kat. So hard. Hope to see you in Dallas. Angela, I hope to see you in Dallas too. Kept my feelings to myself. Good girl. Good luck in Dallas. Thank you. I need it. Scared to death. Oh, no, no, no. I'm so excited for you. It's a good fear, a good fear. This is, remember, this is everything you've been waiting for all these years. So even though it's intimidating and scary, because as prison wives, we create this nice little shell of independence. This is everything you've waited for. So the thought of that shell being broken and crushed, I get it. It's scary, but it's being broken and crushed by the love of your life that you've been waiting to get home for all these years. So, oh, I can't wait for you, but I know you're scared. It's okay. Thank you for this, Ro. It's so great to see you for a bit. Oh, you're welcome. My old man is in and out of county because we can't afford to pay his fines until tax season. So I've seen him get arrested 5 times on 4 years. It's very hard to see. Oh, you poor thing. My ex-best friend thought it was funny to get shackles at the Halloween store and asked me in front of everyone if that turned me on. I'm glad she's your ex-best friend, and I'm assuming this is why she's your ex-best friend. You know what? Public humiliation is not even a little bit funny. What an ass. I would have said something very sarcastic and like probably hurtful back. I'm going to visit my husband's grandma. She's here visiting the USA. Excited. Oh, I'm so excited for you. Exactly, Heather. I don't know if I could say that on YouTube, but I get you. I don't know why my comment was deleted. Oh no, Jody, maybe it was an accident. I know they can move fast. Well, you know this too because you're a mod. Thank you, Ro, and other volunteers for being there for us. You are so welcome. Oh my God, I'm glad she's your ex-best friend. Yep. Heather, you're making me laugh. Heather, have a good time. You most definitely deserve it, girl. You do. We all do. Still wait for my wrench. Oh, that's what I said. I was just talking about you. I was like, I forgot to give Heather her wrench. She's going to be here. I will do it as soon as... Well, wait. Let's see if I could do it while you're here. Hold on. There's people next to me in a car looking. And I can't for some reason. Last night, I was watching this YouTuber that I follow. And she was doing a video, but it wasn't live. And she's like... Dude, what are you looking at? It's 2019. On Snap. She goes, I'm snapping. I'm on the gram. Like, stop staring. It was hysterical. I got asked the same thing about cuffs. I said, nope. In this house, we try to stay out of handcuffs. Good for you. See, that's what I would do. I would say something so sarcastic. I was in freaking tears. Thanks, Ro, for this channel. I finally have access to people who don't judge. Oh, I'm so happy. You're welcome. Bro, my dad, uncle, and grandfather did 20 plus years in federal prison. Ugh, I'm so sorry. So, Elvira, do you know what happens when, were they recent or were they a long time ago? What happens when you want to send clothes for them to come out to for the halfway house? Do you know where to send them? Because Kat asked that question and I don't know the answer. I've been on lockdown for 2.5 years. I want to run a limo and drive her. I told Adam we were going to do that too. Thank you, Ro. You help bring us all hope. You're so welcome, sweetheart. All right, does this D-Money person have to be blocked, you guys? I don't know why I can't do any of that on my phone right now. Hold on. Let's try this. I'm going to try to give Heather a wrench. I'm going to try to block this dude. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. I don't know why. And it looks like Carol's message accidentally got deleted. Okay, hold, please. There's Heather. It's not going to let me, is it? When I want to do something, it lets me. I mean, it doesn't let me. And then every other time I'm just accidentally hitting things. So I'm going to go. I'm going to try to give Heather a wrench and block this dude. He's been saying some crazy things. Yeah, usually it lets me click on you guys while I'm live streaming. Maybe they changed that. Oh, there we go. Report. He's a spammer. Okay, we got him. Now let's see if I can have this lady next to me making comments. It's so funny. It's 2019, lady. Add moderator. Okay, Heather, you should be a moderator now. I live close to the halfway house. I just brought his stuff there in person. They had drop-off times each day. I thought it was that. I thought you had to go to the halfway house. So, Kat, are you local to where, because I know Kat's husband is federal, are you local to, right? He's federal? Are you local to where the halfway house is? If not, you might have to mail it. Hey, SH. Yay, Heather, you got it. Yay. I don't know why it took me a minute, but okay. Yes, I am. Okay, so you probably want to call the halfway house. Here's something I do know about sending stuff to the halfway house. If you send any kind of cosmetics and toiletries, there cannot be any alcohol in them, which sounds like, okay, no problem. Most toiletries and cosmetics have some alcohol in them, so you have to be really careful and read the ingredients and the labels. It might be like a certain amount under of alcohol, like a certain amount or less. Somebody said they found a brand at the dollar store one time that had no alcohol products, but check on that too, because you don't want to spend all of this money and right when and then get stuff that he can't use. So I don't know if that helps too. I cannot find hand sanitizer. There it is, without alcohol. So I'm trying to think if I know of anything. I don't, but if I think of anything, I'll let you know, because I'm into all natural products. What? I don't know. I'll think about it for you. Dove is alcohol free. Thank you, Carol. We know how OCD he is. Yes, we do. That's why I did not even flinch. Heather, if you don't want me to, just say it in the comments, but I'm going to share a story about the toothbrush for the nails, okay? Heather, organic hand sanitizer. That's what I was thinking, Brittany, too. So Heather, another girl, and I used to share a hotel room because all of our husbands were at the same facility. And this one girl, like, her husband is also very OCD, military inmate, and so is Heather's husband. So Heather was talking about her nails and how, like, sometimes you'll get like dirt under your nails, and it'll come off in the shower, but sometimes you'll get dirt under them when you're like doing stuff or whatever. And she didn't have time to paint her nails; they weren't all the same length, like something like that. If I'm botching this, Heather, just let me know. And so the other girl was like, "Oh, girl, here." She takes a toothbrush out of her luggage, right? And she was like, "This is not for my teeth. I keep this specifically to keep a shower for my nails, and I just scrub under my nails before I go in the morning, because God forbid I have like anything under my nails. He'll freak out." And we were all like, "Oh, genius." So yeah, prison can make them like that. Okay, I said I was gonna go 55 times. I think they used to have hand sanitizer with antibiotics, but I felt like I heard they don't allow it anymore. Could be making this up. I never heard that in my life. That's interesting, though. In place of alcohol-based sanitizer, he can spray peroxide diluted in a little water. It's not exactly the same, but it helps. Oh, that's good. And now I keep a toothbrush in my makeup bag. Me too. I keep a toothbrush that I use for my eyebrows, that I use for like baby hairs, not teeth, obviously. So do you guys remember, this is the last story and then I'm going. Do you guys remember when the Ebola outbreak happened, or it was like a, whatever, it was a scare for like 5 days? So we're all going to visit that weekend too. And it's interesting, on the visit forms, it's usually just one side for visitors to fill out, but there was a back side this one time, or a second page, I don't remember. And it was like, have you traveled to whatever country? Have you been exposed? Blah, 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 blah. And you had to answer these questions. Like anyone would tell the truth if they wanted to get in there. But I mean, we all told the truth. Anyway, my friend, the other girl, the OCD girl with the toothbrush, was like, "Bro, did you know hand sanitizer doesn't kill most viruses?" And I was like, "No, thanks for telling me." She's like, "We're going to have to put bleach on our hand sanitizer now, okay? We have to protect ourselves from this." And I was like, "Girl, do you know how many times I wash my hands a day? I drink a gallon of water a day. That does not include the coffee I drink and other things like kombucha. I am washing my hands every 30 seconds because I'm in the bathroom all day long. If I put that much bleach on my hands, first of all, not good for you. Second of all, I already have old lady hands. I would have 85-year-old hands within 35 minutes. Not happening." She was like, "I know." So every once in a while, I'll just text her, "Remember the time we wanted to put bleach in our hand sanitizer?" Heather, we'll find something for you. You know what? I'm on my way to Walmart, so if I find anything without alcohol, I will grab it. Because I think I still have time to mail it for you to get it in time. Or maybe we'll just have to see each other finally. Okay, I love you guys. Keep staying strong, keep loving strong, keep supporting one another through this journey, because you're one day closer to it all being behind you. Lots of love from my heart to yours. I will see you beautiful ladies and gentlemen in the next one. Bye, guys.